Community to Community's vision is development with dignity. No shame, no pity. We amplify dignity and progress led by the people of Petit Guave. In a world too often defined by headlines, something incredible is happening. Communities here don't just survive, they are working hard to thrive. Community to Community is working with the people of Petit Guave to restore vital resources. A much-needed canal is built one hand at a time. Roads are carved into a mountain with simple tools, bringing safe passage to their children and elders. This is development with dignity. And while access to continuous healthcare is saving lives, trees planted today will nourish future generations. Each person is building, planting, and teaching. We are not the heroes. You are. The person willing to support this movement and say, yes, I want to be a restorer of dignity. Join Community to Community.
Bonsoir and bienvenue. Hello and welcome back to Restoring Dignity with C2C, the podcast. I'm your host, Marie-Hélène. I am the fire starter and CEO of C2C Haiti, where we are creating self-sufficient communities by working with the community. Our vision, development with dignity. When you support this mission and this vision, you are not standing on the outside looking in. You are part of the story. You move from being a spectator to a participant. Your giving makes lasting impact. So I encourage you, visit c2chaiti.org to learn more about our work, our communities, our partners, our friends, our neighbors, and join us. I invite you to be a part of something greater than yourself. I am so glad that you're here today. If this is your first time joining us, welcome to the C2C Haiti family. Drop your name and where you're joining us from in the comments, because I always like to see who's here. And if someone brought you here today or forwarded this information for you to be with us today, thank them. That means they thought that you're an amazing human being and that you want to be around other amazing human beings. This is our monthly space to come together, hear directly from our partner communities on the ground, and stay centered on the work and connected to the people who make it possible. And that's very much some of you who are watching right now, our C2C Neighbor Monthly donors, our partners, our friends, our prayer warriors, all of the folks. This is not a one-woman show, I promise you. Today, I have a story to tell you. One that I've been carrying for 2 weeks. And I'm ready to share it with you today. But first, I want to check in on our community because the TPS situation is ongoing and I'm not going to skip over it. So let's get into it. The temporary protected status, or TPS, situation continues to unfold. I get calls every day from people that I know and people that I don't know who are navigating through this unprecedented and inhumane and cruel act of unkindness. I don't know what else to call it because it's very difficult for me to make sense of it, even though it may not be impacting me directly. I'm a human being on earth and my humanity hurts when anyone who is human is going through something. My pastor used to say that either you're going into something, you're in something, or you're coming out of something. So be kind when you meet somebody, because you don't know in which of those situations that they are in. So as this situation continues to unfold, I want to keep you and our community informed, because the media is often full of fear and very short on hope. Today, we're going to do both, give hope and information. There's a woman in Springfield, Ohio. Her name is Harriet Cecilia Joseph. She was filling out paperwork at her job when she found out that the program allowing her to live and work legally in the US was ending. She told PBS News that her mind went completely empty. She spent that night crying and praying. Everything she had built was now at risk. She has since lost her job. Her event planning business collapsed because her clients, also Haitian, are in limbo and focused on saving what they can. And she said, as a human being, you can feel like you are not welcome anywhere in this world. That hurts my heart. When I live in a place that literally has a statue that says, send me, you're tired, you're hungry. That is the call that we make to everyone in the world, that we are a better place, that we are good people, that we are welcoming, that if they're coming and they're going to contribute, they're going to follow our laws, they're going to be good citizens, that they are welcome here. That's what I thought. I'm not so sure anymore. And this is impacting in ways that maybe you may not understand, or maybe you're not aware of, and I want to open your eyes to it. So Harriet is one example. An elderly Haitian man in Miami suffered a stroke because he was too afraid to go to the hospital. Haitian teenagers are afraid to go back to school in the fall. This is terrorizing people. This is causing such imbalance, such instability, such insecurity to a country that itself is off balance and facing profound insecurity. Around 270,000 US citizen children live in households with Haitian TPS holders. This is the horror. Now, separating families. Can you imagine that you went to bed tonight, law-abiding citizen, paying your bills, paying your taxes, being a decent human being, being a good member of your community and your neighborhood, working really hard at your job, and waking up the next day being stateless and arguably countryless? How would you feel? Not knowing if you had to leave your children behind. I know that there are a lot of people saying that, hey, they can go back and build their country. I chose to leave my job and go and help rebuild my country after the 2010 earthquake. I chose that. Nobody forced me to do it. I planned it. I left my job. I saved my money. I announced it. I did all of the things that someone who chose to do something would do. That is completely different than forcing. And the part I think that hurts the most is that there are ways that folks can get on the path to citizenship, and that's not even offered. I'm concerned about us as human beings, because this is heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. and unnecessary. I just want you to consider when you hear the news and you hear the rumors or you hear the gossip, that these are real people, real mothers and fathers and brothers and sisters and children and grandfathers and grandmothers and your neighbors and your coworkers and your friends who are going through something horrible. Horrible. I am not giving up hope that cooler heads will prevail. I believe that. I believe that there are people who are working behind the scenes. And I honestly, I pray for this administration and I pray for the people who lack compassion. Because I tell you, at some point in your life, you, your spouse, your children, your relatives, your friends are going to need compassion from someone. And the way that you build up credit in that account is by you showing compassion yourself over and over and over again. Being kind, being understanding. Think about that. Because these folks, what they're going through, this is the horror. And I'm not going to pretend that it's anything less. I am not going to add sugar and icing on this. Every opportunity that I get when I come on here, I'm going to tell you exactly what is going on. Because here's what's also true. Community leaders, attorneys, advocates, and faith communities, co-workers, neighbors, and friends across this country are showing up every day. Because they know that this is not right. If you or someone you know needs support, here's what I want you to know right now. The NYC Immigration Legal Support Hotline, 1-800-354-0365. It's free, confidential, and in your language, including Haitian Creole. The Haitian Response Initiative in New York, 718-940-2200. Press extension 1 for Haitian Creole. Massachusetts Access to Counsel, 508-505-4588. And if you want to take action and be a part of what can change this, call the U.S. Capitol switchboard at 202-224-3121 and tell your senators to vote yes on Senate Bill S 4814 to extend TPS for Haitians for 3 years. We can fix this. We can treat people with respect and dignity for a pathway to stay or a pathway to go. And please, please, please be aware of scams. A trustworthy process gives you room to ask questions. You have the right to know what you are signing. I'll also put these into the comments now so that you can screenshot and share. That is a big part of what you can do, because in being fear and isolating themselves, people may not know that this is available, but you just saw it, so you can help. Do not make decisions based on fear. You are not alone, and I will keep showing up as long as it's needed. And if you have information that could help, please email us at info@c2chaiti.org so that we can also share it with the folks who need it the most. I thank you in advance, and I thank the allies. I thank that the people who do have cooler heads, who are standing in the gap and who are standing on the front line. We continue to stand with you. Thank you. As my dad used to say, this too shall pass. The rain may be falling now, but it does have to stop eventually. So let us hope against hope, continue to press forward with empathy, with compassion, with care until this passes. Now I want to tell you the story I came here to tell, because it connects directly to TPS, to healthcare, and to everything we are building with our Mountainside Partner Community. 2 weeks ago, on Thursday, July 30th, Eugène Lapin, who's Responsable Eugène to all of you who've seen him on multiple occasions, there he is there at ODCP's office, being himself, meeting, helping, directing, guiding the people in Petit Guave who are his fuel, and as the leader of APHD, our trusted in-country partner for over 16 years. On July 30th, he fell gravely ill. He woke up in the middle of the night with acute stomach pain. He could not keep food down. He was shaking. He was hyperventilating. His blood pressure was unstable. His wife called Nurse Kitley, another member of APHD, and that afternoon they took him to the Notre Dame Hospital, the main public hospital in Petit Guave. And the hospital could not do very much for him. I want you to sit with that for a moment. Imagine you wake up in this condition and we put you in the car and we drive to the hospital. Somewhere inside of you during that drive, you're like, okay, I'm going to get to the hospital and everything is going to be okay. They will help me. He did get to the hospital and there was not much they could do. The main public hospital in the city could not adequately treat him. Not because the doctors and the nurses were not trying. They were. They conduct miracles there every single day with almost nothing to work with. But the equipment was not there. The medicine was not there. I know this for a fact because in 2016, after Hurricane Matthew, C2C, with the help of our partners and supporters, helped secure and ship 30 barrels of medical supplies to that very hospital. And nearly a decade later, the conditions remain dire. So they told him that he had to go to the next town and sent him there. And at that hospital, they put him on oxygen because his blood oxygen levels were dangerously low. Normal blood oxygen level is 99 to 100. His 88 is an emergency. His was hovering around 85. So they told him that they did not have enough equipment to treat him there either, that he needed to go to Port-au-Prince, where currently there are multiple gangs and paramilitary groups, where driving safely was not an option, where the only safe route was by helicopter. That's what they told us. So a member of APHD and I began making phone calls. In my mind, I thought, oh, nightmare averted. We will find a helicopter and we will get him where he needs to go. Started making calls to some of our partners. I want to shout out Baraka Baptist Church and the Haitian Women's Collective and Pastor Mullery and Colleen Jocelyn, Dr. Rudy, and multiple people that I called who immediately shared information with me so that I could start making these calls. Only to find out that some of these helicopter companies had shut down entirely. Air Haiti, a nonprofit medevac service that had been available to communities in need, apparently ceased existence after the 2021 earthquake because its funding had dried up. It was privatized. We found another company willing to take him for a fee of $2,900. But they would not allow the oxygen tank. So that fell through. Another company then quoted us $4,450 one way. C2C did not have those funds available. So I was prepared to put it on my personal credit card. But even then, they would also not take him with the oxygen. And he needed that oxygen for the trip. I'm telling you at this point, I feel like God intervened and put Dr. Peter on my heart and Dr. Muriel. These are the two doctors who partnered with C2C since we launched the Continuous Care Initiative in 2017. And Dr. Peter and Dr. Muriel stepped in. Dr. Muriel suggested we go south instead of north to a hospital in a place called Fond Blanc. She called ahead. She ordered the tests that Eugène would need. And at 3 a.m. in the morning, Eugène and Nurse Kitley got into a car and made that journey without oxygen, literally on a wing and a prayer. By the grace of God, Eugène made it to the hospital. They received him. They ran the tests. They gave him the medicine that regulated his blood pressure, and they were able to increase his blood oxygen level back to 99 and 100. This is while his wife has been with him along with Nurse Kitley. Almost no one has slept now for a good 3 days. He was discharged that morning, and he's home recuperating. Again, this was a miracle because technically he had no oxygen from Petit Goave to Fond Blanc. Nurse Kitley was literally massaging his chest, and he was making sure to stay calm and keeping his breathing regulated. Clearly, there was angels in that car. It is a miracle that he survived, and it should not have required one. Eugène said himself, people in our community are terrified to get sick because they know that they will most likely die from preventable things because of access. Not because of the illness itself, but because of where they live and what is not there to help them. This is why the Health and Wellness Center is so important. There was not even ambulance service available for him. In parts of our country here in the US, it is a food deserts and health deserts of not having access to healthcare. People being afraid to go to the ER because they can't afford it. I had a friend here who was also afraid to go. Her boyfriend had to convince her to go, and she ended up having an aneurysm. I am glad that she is well now, but we should not have to think about whether or not we can afford to get healthcare. Healthcare is not a privilege, it's a right for everyone. And this Health and Wellness Center for our Mountainside community is not a future dream. It is an emergency. It will serve 1,200 families with consistent, dignified health care, including a dedicated maternity ward. And yes, it will have oxygen available for emergencies like Eugène's. And finishing it means that the next Eugène, the next mother in labor, the next child with the fever in the middle of the night, the next elderly person who feels chest pains has somewhere close by to go. I want to also remind you that the Continuous Care Initiative has been providing consistent health care to these same families since 2027. That is what you see in the intro video. We've been doing this for now, next year, technically we'll make 10 years. Monthly doctor's visits, weekly nurse visits, and prenatal care for over 725 women in a community that had no medical services or access for decades. The Continuous Care Initiative is what made it possible for us to even have Dr. Peter and Dr. Muriel in our network when Eugène needed them most. I am not a doctor. I am not a nurse. I do not have a degree in public health. I am a person who cares about people, all people. I'm a person who believes that everyone should have access to health care. And I'm a person who knows that prevention is 99% of health and wellness. And for me and for C2C, our partners, our donors, our C2C neighbors, the Health and Wellness Center is the next chapter of this commitment. And it needs your support to be completed. I am thankful to Kitli, to Dudinho, to everyone I called who picked up the phone. I am most grateful to God. And I pray that Eugene gets to see his children's children, because he deserves that. And the same way I feel like you deserve health care, I believe that he did too. So I ask you to consider that if today's story, if what I've shared with you has moved you, has stirred you, has made you think, what? If you didn't know, now you know. If you are moved, there are 3 things that you can do. Number 1, everything starts at c2chaiti.org. So go there. Donate. Every gift moves this needle closer, this goalpost closer to reality, and ensures that no family in our community has to face what Eugene faced without somewhere close by to turn. Number 2, you can become a C2C Neighbor Monthly Donor. I'm one. And these funds are available to us for medicine, for oxygen, for Band-Aids, for alcohol, for tourniquets, for everything that the doctors and nurses would need to serve their community. These are the things you can do to move from being a spectator to a participant in this work. Share this recording, especially if you know someone who's navigating through the TPS decision. Let it reach them. Share this with someone who is Haitian or who has a heart for Haiti and wants to make a difference. Because you have the credibility that if it comes from you, they will definitely look us up. So do that for us, please. Because the more this gets out, the more people will know that there is a place that they can turn to be a part of something greater than themselves. And follow us on Facebook and LinkedIn and Instagram, and turn on your notifications so you never miss a conversation. This community, the one on the mountain and the one right here in these comments, keep me going every single day. Thank you for being here. In Haiti, we say, "Me en pile chai palu." With many hands, the load is lighter. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for caring about Haiti. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for caring about dignity. Thank you for caring about what it means to build with community. I have an amazing announcement too next week, so be sure to tune in. Remember, me en pile chai palu. With many hands, the load is lighter. I will see you next time. Merci en pile. Bon Dieu béni. God bless you.